Main aspects of the economic reforms during 1971 to 77. Under this heading, we will discuss the nationalization of industries, nationalization of banks and insurance companies, labor reforms, and agriculture reforms. Nationalization of industries. Zulfikar Ali Bhutto disagreed with the policies of capitalists, the wealthy, and the industrialists. He issued an ordinance on 2nd January 1972 under which 10 heavy industries were nationalized by the government. The industries taken over by the government are automobile industry, chemical industry, consumer goods industry, steel industry, heavy equipment industry, petrochemical industry, cement industry, social welfare services industry, tractor industry, and heavy electrical equipment industry. Nationalization of banks and insurance companies. For the economic stability of the country, all insurance companies were nationalized and merged under the control of State Life Corporation on 19 March 1972. All scheduled banks were also taken out by the Government of Pakistan on 1st January 1974. Nationalization of banks and insurance companies proved very fruitful for the economic stability and prosperity of the people of Pakistan. Labor reforms. The representatives of the laborers were included in the administrative committee, which was responsible for running the affairs of the factory. Their representation was 20% of the total strength, and they had the right to check the accounts and stores. Annual bonus equal to 1 month's salary was announced for laborers. Special bonuses were also announced in case the production increased. The working time of the laborers was rescheduled. 48 working hours within a week were regulated instead of 54 hours. They would be given extra amount if they willingly worked overtime. Every laborer would have the right of old age pension, insurance, and medical facilities under the Social Security scheme would be given to the laborers, and it would be paid for by the owners. Every laborer would be provided with residential and educational facilities. Free medical checkups would be mandatory. Free education up to matric of at least one child was the responsibility of the factory. An Industrial Relations Commission was set up for the settlement of the disputes among the laborers through trade unions. Junior courts were set up in this respect so that laborers could have the right to take their cases to the labor courts. A post of stewardship was created who was responsible for settling differences between the mill owners and the laborers. Mill owners were bound to give solid reasons before termination of a laborer for job security purposes so that unfair terminations could be avoided. Agricultural reforms. To save the farmers from exploitation, Bhutto's government announced the following agricultural reforms. The limit of land ownership irrigated by canals was fixed up to 150 acres and the land irrigated by natural rains was up to 300 acres. The land purchased by government servants during their services of 2 years after their retirement was limited up to 100 acres. The surplus land would be taken over by the government. No one except for educational institutions was allowed to cross this limit of land. Only landlords would pay the land and water tax. The peasants would be exempted from it. No extra land was allowed for livestock, farms, stables, and gardens. All hunting grounds except for those with the historical background were taken over by the government. The landlords were not allowed to expel the peasants one-sidedly. Only those peasants could be evicted who violated the rules. Fragments of land were combined under a new law scheme named Consolidation of Land. Financial aid was given to Anjuman-e-Imdad-e Bahmi to support agricultural machinery in Pakistan, and its services and work were recognized. For the purpose of agricultural machinery like tractors, loans were granted to the farmers and landlords on easy installments. Thank you. I hope you understood the topic.